Welcome to Japan. It's been a dream of mine to come here for about 3 years now. 2 years ago I had a hotel booked in Kyoto, and unfortunately due to monetary circumstances it just wasn't possible. But this year in 2018, November 2018, it has been possible. I'm here at a particular location that I found a couple of years ago, and I've been absolutely dying to get here, and now I'm here. It's really overcast and kind of quite gloomy out here at the moment, but it's only adding to the mood of the location behind me. I'm really happy to be here just to see this place. It's a place I've only seen in very few pictures actually, and certainly walking through the small town that I came through this morning and also coming on the train, I appear to be probably the only Westerner around here, which is quite strange and surreal for me. So I've actually been in Japan now for 3 days. Staying in Osaka, and I've been photographing around there, some of the temples, some of the architecture, and I'll be back there this afternoon, hopefully if the weather improves, but we shall see. But certainly behind me you can see this beautiful old temple here on the side of the lake, and it's absolutely stunning. I'm just going to show you what it is that I'm doing here, just capturing the mood of this place. It's absolutely fabulous, this place, just so surreal and magical. As I said, you can see this old temple here on the side of the lake. I think it's quite a few centuries old now, and it didn't actually cost much to come in, probably the equivalent of about €3, £3 or so, and so happy to actually see it in these conditions. Of course it would be wonderful having sunlight, and over there maybe I'd see on the horizon just a tiny bit of light coming through. Am I bothered? Not really at all. I'm getting something that I've had in my head now for about 2 years. I've seen very little images of this particular place, and as I said, I don't think there's probably any other Westerners around. Certainly at the moment, coming up on the train, there's nobody from a Western culture. One person said hello to me, which was quite nice in the train, and that's actually how I found Japan so far. Very friendly, people willing to help you if you're lost, and it's just a fabulous place. In the meantime, I've got my Canon 5D Mark IV there. There's a 6-stop ND filter and a polarizer. Polarizer's getting the sheen off the water. My Benro GD3 WH head and the Benro Mach 3 TMA 38CL tripod. So that's giving me the stability I need to capture a 30-second exposure. It's smoothing out the water, giving me a bit of blur in the sky and the cloud there. And this is the mood that I really like, because you can see form in the cloud. When it's just flat, it just looks terrible. Today it's beautiful. I really could not ask for what I have right now. It is absolutely 2 years in the waiting, very happy to get it. Enjoy the image. I've come further down the lake, and as you can hear, I'm stood right by the side of a main road. Behind me, you should be able to see, there's a really nice torii gate. And this gate is not the famous gates that you see on many images of Japan. That is in a place called Miyajima, which I'm going to hopefully over the next week or so. This is another one. It's probably not that well known by some Westerners, though. Certainly every tourist that I've seen around here is all Japanese, so I think I've seen 2 Westerners cycle past, and that's it. Probably most people are not going to venture up this way. Now, I'm doing a long exposure again because the weather's still looking pretty bad. There's something I really want to emphasise to people that are beginning. When you're doing these kind of things and you hear these long exposure fine art photography images, this is not fine art. This is just a long exposure image. It's just to give an effect, and that is it. All I'm doing is I'm looking at the scene behind me and thinking, if I can smooth out the water, if I can get a bit of blur in the clouds, to make it just a little bit more interesting. That's not fine art, okay? It's just, sorry about the lorries and traffic. It's just, all it is just a long exposure image, and I think it has a really nice effect. It's not fine art, it's just a long exposure. In any case, I'll just turn the camera around and I'll explain the composition that I've got on the back of the camera, and also a little tiny element that for me is making the final image. Okay, so setup wise, it's my Canon 5D Mark IV, and there's the 70-200 on lens wise. I've got a 6-stop ND and an ND grad, just a 1-stop, just to hold a little bit of the sky back. Now you might be able to see here, I've got it set on black and white on the live view. So what I've done is I've put the top bar, I want that torii gate on the top bar there. Then I've got the problem of the mountains in the background here. So this mountain here, I don't want that. I just want it cut off right there. And then in the background, you may be able to see, just in between the gate there is a small mountain, and I really wanted that to go down here. The thing that's really making this image though for me, this really nice long exposure, is there's a bird which is just sat on the edge there, and he's not moving, or she's not moving that much at all, and it just gives a little bit more to that final image that I'm creating here on the banks of this lake. So I think I've pretty much got the image that I wanted, the image that I had in my head. So I'm going to pack up, and I've got about a half an hour walk to get back to the train station, and I'm going back to Osaka where I'm staying. So I need to recharge my telephone, as I didn't charge it before coming out this morning, which is a little bit silly, but there you go, it happens. But yeah, this absolutely beautiful torii gate on the lakeside here, absolutely fantastic. It could kind of work in colour. I might try it in colour, certainly though in black and white. It's definitely the day for it, very moody. It's there, it's that final image. It's not fine art photography, it's just a long exposure image, just to give the effect. This morning I've come to the famous Shitanoji temple here in Osaka. I was here a few days ago, the second day actually I was in Osaka, and I pretty much got the photo I was after of this place. It was not early in the morning, probably around 9 o'clock or so, but by then the sun had actually risen above some of the high buildings that are here in the city. Now I've come back this morning just to see if there's anything that I might be able to do differently with it. I kind of don't really think there is, apart from concentrating on details of the buildings. There's lots of buildings in this temple complex. I don't really think I can do much else with it, but unless you come back and unless you have another second look, you just never really know. I've got a photo, not really happy with it. It really needs a 50mm tilt shift, which I don't have, and I should really put on my list of things to have in my kit bag. Yet another lens, more weight in my bag, but there you go. Cityscapes, it's very useful having these tilt shifts. But I've got a photo and it's okay. I probably had to use the transform tool in Photoshop or Lightroom just to actually bring it up and actually having it look how I really want it to. But in any case, I'm going to carry on and just see what it is that I can do. But before I do that, I'll just give you a couple of things that I've been learning since I've been here in Japan that have been useful to me. The first thing is this is definitely a cash-based society here in Japan. So if you're wandering around thinking you can get away, like for example in the United Kingdom, where you can pay for everything with your touch and go credit card, your chip and pin credit card, then you're going to be very sorely mistaken. It just doesn't work that way. Language, does it help? Well, of course it helps just to have at least some very, very simple language in Japanese. The hello, goodbye, thank you will always go a long way. There's other things as well that I've been finding quite nice, like early in the morning if you get up and you're wandering around, it's cold. There's lots of these instant coffee machines that are around, and where you can get soft drinks as well. But you can get cold coffee, hot coffee, and it just like works out about £1, €1 to get this coffee, and it's actually really nice. And then just everybody is so friendly as well. So even if you don't speak any Japanese, try and just see if you can get some information from somebody if you're lost, and normally someone will help. The other day when I first arrived in Osaka, I was really lost in Osaka station, and 5 guys in a delivery company just really helped, despite me speaking no Japanese and them speaking no English. So there you go. In any case, I'm just going to carry on doing what I do. I've been doing a bit of wandering around the castle complex here in Osaka, and I've come across the scene behind me. I really like this type of scene. You've got this really nice colourful autumn leaves in the bottom half of the frame, and on the top half you've got the modern architecture of the city of Osaka. I don't really know what the district is behind me, but really like this kind of architecture. I've always wanted to be able to get to a city and have this kind of architecture in front of me. I've admired the Asian cities with all their massive high-rise buildings, and I've wanted to get here for so long, and I'm finally getting the type of imagery that I've had in my head for such a long time now. Now what I am doing is I've got a polarizer on the front of my camera right now, and I'm going to blend two different images because there is a bit of a brightness difference between the foreground and the sky. Although the sun is basically up there, so it's effectively behind the camera, I would need a grad, but I kind of really want to control it just a bit better than a grad will, and I don't want to have anything in the image that shows the line of a grad. So basically what I've done is I've taken two exposures, so I'll be blending those later on, and you'll see the image flick up just after this. Do you ever have those days when you're travelling and you can see out of the corner of your eye that dawn or sunrise is just going to be absolutely fantastic, and there's maybe not much you can do about it? But today I did manage to be travelling somewhere. I could see there was going to be a really, really nice dawn, and I managed, just with about 3 minutes to spare, to get my shot. This morning, and for the rest of the day, I'm in Himeji. Now Himeji is famous for its castle, and if you like me, a fan of the old James Bond films, it was used in You Only Live Twice way back in the late 60s, I think it was, when they filmed You Only Live Twice. So I came here because I've got some permission actually to shoot around the castle today, and also I'm trying to still capture autumn colour here in Japan, in southwest Japan. So I've managed just to get my shot, and something that I did, which I don't do a lot at all, is I got off the bullet train this morning. I looked at how long it would take me to get up the hill where I am, and then just took a taxi, and I thought I just really don't have the time. So I got in a taxi, showed the guy the map, and he took me straight here as quick as he could, which was absolutely fantastic. I got my photo. I am really, really happy here in Himeji. After my dawn shoot on a hill overlooking Himeji Castle, I met a local amateur photographer, a businessman who named Makoto, who was on his way to work, but he said to me every single morning he gets up that hill just to go and basically get some exercise in the morning and just see the view, take it in. And he said to me about another view of the castle, and he said to me, if you go down to the base of the castle, there's a car park that you can go to, and you get the view that you might be able to see behind me. So I just very calmly walked down here. I didn't show you the staircase I had to go up to actually to get the view, but it was just basically like going up a staircase like this, probably about 100 steps or so. And when you've got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, it's very tiring having to get up there and not much sleep at all. But in any case, I've got a view behind me. It looks as though it's going to be a really nice day today. So I've got permission to go into the castle later on today. So about 9 o'clock or so, I've got to meet somebody from the local area, and they're going to take me around the castle. There's also, I've come across this monastery that's up in the hills that looks absolutely stupendous, and I'm going to see if I can get up there before the end of the day. What I'd like to do is get up there around midday, have a good look around, come back down, and then go back up the hill to get sunsets, because I should get some really nice side lighting on the castle later on. Hopefully there'll be a bit of cloud as well, not too much, to obscure the view, because every single day I've been here so far in Japan has been 1 or 2 days have been a bit dismal, grey, but I have had some days whereby it's been a bit kind of like today, and then in the afternoon it's just become cloud cover, it's frustrating. But in any case, you see the view behind me, and I'll just show you what it is that I'm doing. It's just a very, very simple shot, so there's nothing too much to explain to you. As you can see, the very unglamorous car park that I'm in, but it gives a really nice elevated view of Imagery Castle back there. It's a bit hazy on the horizon, so I know when I process this, probably a bit of dehaze is going to come in very handy, and I may just lighten the, put a bit more blue into the sky and actually double process the image to make it look really nice. Not something I do very often at all, but I don't really need a grad. The sun is right over my behind my left shoulder at the moment. But there's Canon 5D Mark IV, the 70-200. It's on about 135mm, just to bring the castle just that bit closer and cut away. Obviously I don't want this in there, but there's like a roof that's just here, so I want to go right into the castle and just focus in on that. That is the main objective of why I'm here, of course, today. Now I was hoping for more colour in the trees that are, you know, at the bottom, at the base of the castle, but there's really not much I can do about that. Over the other side of the castle, down there on the western side of it, there's a really nice Japanese garden. I'm hoping that I can get in there today, because from what I can see the colours look absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to spend my day in Himeji. So far everybody's been fantastic, as every single day they have been in Japan, but hopefully here in Himeji it's going to be another wonderful day in southwestern Japan.